On June 25th and 26th, 1960, 55 race cars took part in the legendary 24-hour endurance race at Le Mans, France. Unique to that event was the first-time participation by 4 American race cars, all new 1960 Corvettes. 3 of them were owned by wealthy sportsman Briggs Cunningham. Shipped to the port of Le Havre, the cars underwent extensive modifications, inspections, and testing before the race began. Designated 1, 2, and 3 by exterior markings, the cars performed much better than expected. The grueling race included several hours of pouring nighttime rain. But when the checkered flag came down, the number 3 car, driven alternately by Bob Grossman and John Fitch, had emerged as winner of its class, and it finished in the number 8 position overall. Its record of achievement that day would last 41 years. Then, the number 3 car faded into obscurity. Decades later, Corvette enthusiast Chip Miller, co-founder of an annual premier event in Pennsylvania called Corvettes at Carlisle, set a personal goal for himself.
I think my dad just followed that car ever since its victory in 1960. It was a passion of his to own that car, and he very much knew all about it.
Chip Miller had loved Corvettes as far back as he could remember, but the allure of the number 3 Cunningham Le Mans car was different. Though its location was unknown, he set a goal of finding the car, restoring it to its original race day configuration, and returning it to the Le Mans track on the 50th anniversary of its win. He enlisted the aid of longtime friend and renowned Corvette restorer Kevin McKay. Using his own extensive knowledge and enlisting the aid of more than one paid detective, McKay located the car in 1993 in St. Louis and made a call to its owner.
And I called him up on the phone and he still got the car. It was converted into a regular driver. It was a red car with a replacement block in it, and the guys just drive around the street, had it for over 10 years, and had no idea what it was.
Though it took 7 years of gentle prodding to persuade the owner to sell, in the fall of 2000, the car arrived at McKay's shop on Long Island. With new owner Chip Miller at the wheel and 1960 driver John Fitch at his side, the now red and white car was ready for an 18-month transition back to its Le Mans race appearance. Chip Miller started the restoration by stripping away the red paint to see what lay beneath. Kevin McKay had assembled a nationwide team of experts to determine, without question, this was the number 3 car. John Fitch, by then 83 years old, was as impressed as anyone there.
Well, it's a little bit of history, you know. It's a historic car, especially being a Corvette. It's a great American sports car, and a lot of enthusiasm for that car.
Chip Miller had accomplished the first major step of his goal. He had acquired the number 3 car. And at the end of that day on Long Island, he turned quietly philosophical.
Personalities play heavily into vehicles, and we have to acknowledge that this car is extremely important. I'm just going to have it only for the rest of my life.
Sadly, just 3 years later, Chip Miller was diagnosed with a rare, little-known disease called amyloidosis. He died in late March 2004.
I think he just had a dream, you know. Everybody has a dream, and that happened to be his, to get the driver there, if the driver was still around, 50 years later, along with the vehicle.
In early May 2010, the number 3 car, restored to its full glory of a half-century before, left the United States on its second trip to the port of Le Havre, en route to its final destination, Le Mans. It will be exhibited widely at the 2010 race. One of its drivers, John Fitch, is still around, and at age 92 will join the car in France. Lance Miller and his family established the Chip Miller Charitable Foundation to foster awareness and research of the disease which took Chip's life. Legions of Chip Miller's friends, family, and associates frequently heard Chip say, "Life is good." And Lance Miller has now assumed his father's dream.
I wanted to accomplish his goal, and sure enough, we're going to pull it off.